Rainbow's End from start to finish reflects the many forms and stereotypes of racial discrimination in 1950s Australian society. Harrison uses an intimate first-person perspective to share the collective experience of Aboriginal people in this era. The Green Mile is a text that creates a powerful emotional response to its use of strong character development and asks the audience to look beyond the labels and see the characters as fellow human beings. The inconsistencies, anomalies, and paradoxes of social interactions and human experience of both racism and discrimination allow both authors to challenge the assumptions about our history and invite us to explore the individual and collective experiences that are presented in both texts. Social interactions between the Aboriginal characters and the whites are also used by Harrison as human experiences upon which she builds her commentary. The white government inspector who visits the Deers Humpy in scene 6 mentions the concept of assimilation. He explains the need for the Aborigine to be absorbed into the community. They must learn to live like us. Dolly later complains that she and Errol can't even walk in the streets without being verbally harassed, as interracial couples were not accepted by society. Such small examples of racial sneers allows Harrison to paint an intricate personal image of the Indigenous experience. It is through these confronting and uncomfortable experiences that she asks her audience to reconsider ideas about Australia's classless society and opens their eyes to respond to the world differently.
These two quotes of John Coffey is a Negro and in Trappington County were awfully particular about giving new trials to Negroes. Niggers ought to have their own electric chair. These men's racism serves to emphasize their inherent cruelty. By using racial sneers to identify them shows that they do not see them as people but brutal beasts. Animalistic language is used frequently by the author to demonstrate the feelings and thoughts of the characters' minds. But we have to remember that your Negro will bite if he gets the chance, just like a mongrel dog will bite if he gets the chance. The animalistic imagery allows the reader to perceive the racism that black people were subjected to. These quotes contrast the viewpoints of the protagonist Paul and allows the author to show the audience how people should see people of black heritage, helping change the audience's feelings. In both texts, inconsistencies help change their attitude to scenarios where they are challenged. Although this quote from Rainbow's End, it is perfectly represented in both texts. She deserves a break. One little break. Are you going to be the one to offer her that break? The repetition of the word break can be attributed to both texts as people changing their perspective of racial divides and coming together without the differences to see the world as united.
Throughout Harrison's play Rainbow's End, the Aboriginal character Gladys experiences discrimination as a result of her race, which is a very confronting and provocative experience. This ultimately allows her to discover that her purpose in life is to fight for Aboriginal rights. Gladys' desire and hope to assimilate into the white society, which is symbolised by the Queen's visit, which is portrayed through a dream sequence. Gladys is curtsying in presenting a bouquet of flowers to the Queen. However, this is juxtaposed with the emotional and confronting reality that there is no place for her in society, highlighted through lighting and stage direction. The lights come back to reality. Gladys is holding a bunch of weeds. Her desire to assimilate begins to diminish as she learns that the white society will not accept her or her daughter because of their Aboriginal heritage and identity. This provocative event challenges Gladys's assumptions and beliefs of the white society. This demonstrates how human behaviour and beliefs can change from paradoxes in one's life and helps both the characters and the responders change their view in the world and how their actions can lead to human experiences.
Tired, boss. Tired of being on the road, lonely as a sparrow in the rain. I'm tired of never having me a buddy to be with, to tell me where we's going to, coming from, or why. Mostly I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of all the pain I feel and hear in the world every day.
The continuous repetition of the word "I'm tired" throughout this sequence is used by the author to demonstrate the emphasis of his life to the audience and symbolises his acceptance of his imminent death. This scene also illustrates the passing of his will to the characters and helps them respond to the world differently by having a new outlook and perspective on life. Both texts demonstrate the experiences that the characters go through that shape their viewpoints of the world after confronting situations where their beliefs and opinions have been disregarded by society. This helps the audience perceive the world differently as the characters' human experiences can be related to us individuals.
The anomalies present in Green Mile are presented with two characters. Firstly, Edward Delacroix. Although he committed such a terrible act of killing 7 people, he is an extremely likable person. The anomalies in his character development and the way he acts whilst in prison is unprecedented to the crimes he had committed. During the scene where the mouse takes a liking to Del, we see that he's a very nice person to talk to. He is both naive, innocent, and caring despite his crimes. It is weird that despite his insensitive and sadistic crime, he can still be so caring and be a good pet parent to the mouse, which is unexpected for both the audience and the characters. Percy Wetmore, a small man who works as a guard, expected to be a mature and understanding man, his sadistic and troublesome nature is explored as his only purpose is the pleasure of watching the prisoners die. Percy is an instigator, stirring up trouble with his violent behaviour, and is not above using his family's position to get out of trouble. These two characters show the contrasting nature of people and their true behaviour. Both experience two different pathways of life, but both are anomalies of people themselves. They are two sides of the same coin.
And presents anomalies in human behaviour in many ways, but the most prominent is that of Dolly's and Errol's relationship. Dolly: you're white, I'm Aboriginal. Haven't you noticed? Errol: what matters is you, not your address. The use of truncated sentences by both characters to create emphasis on the points where Dolly feels exasperated and Errol is encouraging. Dolly also uses sarcasm at the end of the line by adding, haven't you noticed, as if it were not already obvious to Errol. At the time, Errol would be an anomaly due to his behaviour being prominently different to the other white people, who would usually treat Aboriginal people with racism and disdain. Both texts portray human experience in unique ways. The authors use a wide range of techniques in their quotes to signify certain human behaviours and how they shape the characters' actions. Using these, the authors invite us to explore in our own minds and to respond to the questions about the anomalies, inconsistencies, and paradoxes in one's life and the text, and questions our thoughts and beliefs against racism and discriminations and the pathways that we take in our lives, encouraging us, the audience, to pursue self-empowerment and to be a better person.